Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Uganda Political Forum, where we are going to look at a few issues that are currently taking place. The one on top is the Kony 2012, the campaign that has taken the world by storm. And joining me on the panel today is Moses Lutu Mukasa, a very staunch Ugandan here in Sydney. Can you say hello to the members?
Good evening, viewers.
And then I have Robert. Robert here is the Vice President of the Uganda Association in New South Wales.
Good afternoon, viewers.
Yes, as you may be aware, viewers, what is currently taking place in the world is the Kony 2012 campaign. And members on the political forum here are going to help me discuss what impact this could have and what they think of that movie. If you have not seen the movie has been on Facebook, it has been on various media, and right now I'm informed that over 60 million people have seen this movie worldwide. So to start with you, Lutu, Moses, first of all, what is your overview about this movie, Invisible Children?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. First and foremost, I could say that we welcome the movie, but at least we want to put some issues straight, because there are some of discrepancies according to what happened, and according to what is happening, and according to what is in the movie itself. As you are aware, in Uganda, a group of peasants took up arms to fight dictatorship in the country, and they succeeded in 1986 by overthrowing a dictatorial government in Uganda. So, but after overthrowing the government, the question was not whether the overthrown government will come back to attack the government, but the question was when they should do that. In 1986, a group of fighters of the former National Army launched attacks on the Ugandan territory from Sudan. Okay. So the government was able to defeat all those groups during that time. Kony, the person we are talking about today, the one we are targeting, was a catechist in one of the big Catholic churches in northern Uganda. So there was a priestess lady called Alice Lakwena, who started up a rebellious group called Holy Spirit Movement. Again, the government had a task of fighting Lakwena up to Busoga, where she was stopped in 1987. After stopping Lakwena, then Kony mobilized again, because Lakwena was an aunt to Joseph Kony. When Joseph Kony regrouped and organized, he started another fighting group called Lord's Resistance Army. At the beginning, he said that his organization was fighting to restore Christianity in the territory of Uganda. So, what surprised many is that his entire military campaign, targeted on the innocent people, more especially children. He used to capture children because he couldn't recruit, because he had no political agenda. He could not recruit therefore people to join him to fight the government. So he started capturing children, young as 9 years, recruit them to his ranks, order them, show them how to kill people, killing their own siblings, their parents, and all that stuff. So when the rebellion started, the government of Uganda ran into strength to stop Kony. Unfortunately, during that time, most of the world, the big democracies in the world, thought that Kony had a political agenda. And I think some of them had a second thought on him. They wanted to see him and to see where he was going. Unfortunately, Kony had no political program at all. He targeted mainly on killing people, maiming people, torturing the innocent, killing the villages, wiping out entire villages.
Without purpose.
Without purpose. He killed almost villages. I remember sometime back in a village called Balonyo, that's the sub-county where he himself comes from. One night he killed 465 people, just one night. He put those ones killed in saucepans and put them on fire. All this was shown to the entire world, and everybody was surprised. What disappointed us more as Ugandans is that the American people, the British people, and the Western democracies, they ordered Uganda to reduce its forces, to reduce the defense spending according to the economy of the day. And the government has to heed. They had to reduce almost 1/3 of the entire soldiers. This made Kony a bit more powerful than he was before. because we didn't have enough army to pursue him whenever he committed atrocities in the area. So that one again became an obstacle to the people of Uganda to fight Kony. Again, there was a time when Kony became a real threat because Sudan had an intention of destabilizing Uganda because the Islamic fundamentalism had started. So they used Kony, they used to arm him to make sure that Kony disturbs the Uganda government with the intention of overthrowing it to make Uganda an Islamic state. Again, the government of Uganda had to fight that problem. But all this time, these people never realized that there was need to stop Kony. And whenever we think about this one, it becomes very painful, we as Ugandans, because we witnessed one of the most cruel on humankind in recent times. So Kony went ahead. One night, I remember there was a British nun in Aboke Senior Secondary School, where Kony invaded that school one night, capturing over 60 girls, ranging from 11 to 16, taking them as wives and slaves. This sister followed Kony for about 20 miles, pleading with him to at least release the children. And Kony managed to release at least 4 of them. So the 56 were taken. They have been with Kony. Another reason why we were upset and surprised is that during all this period, the person who was in charge of children affairs in the United Nations headquarters in New York was a Ugandan by the name of Olala Otunu. This man, again, comes from the same villages as Kony. And he was all along trying to tell the world that it's not Kony who is killing the children, but it's the government. That's what he was telling the world, and the world believed him. So, the government of Uganda tried its level best. As I told you earlier, the president of the Republic of Uganda pitched the camp on the front line for 6 months to ensure that a campaign is strategically laid down to defeat Kony once and for all.
Alright, yeah, just cut you a little bit short on that. Now, Robert, you've had Little Moses telling us a lot about the background of Kony, some of the attempts by the government to go in and fight. Some of them are not fruitful. But looking at what Moses has just said, in comparison to the present movie, Kony, Stop Kony 2012, what are some of your views?
Thank you, Mr. President. My view about Kony and the 2012 campaign. The first time I saw the movie, it shocked me. Straight away the question into my brain was, why is the movie being shown at this time? Kony has left Uganda 7 years ago, or more than that. Why is the campaign, it's just looking like it's starting now to make the world aware of what Kony did in Uganda. True, the pictures were showing, they were there, Kony did that, that's true. But right now, if you look at their program, you wouldn't think immediately that what we need right now is really to wipe out Kony, because the government of Uganda had all the capacity. It tried always to fight Kony. And Kony, as this word here, invisible children, invisible Kony somehow is invisible too. I don't think sending troops to Uganda is a solution to Kony, because to me personally, I think the local people and the government itself what expression can I use? It's the government on the ground which has all the tactics and the ideas of how to capture Kony. Anyway, nevertheless, every assistance required in this, if Kony is captured and is not anymore, because it's not only killing or abducting children from Uganda, but even the neighbor the neighboring country, Congo. Thus, the program is welcome. Then, in my input on this, secondly, is I thought instead of saying Kony 2012, right now in the north, what we are looking at is resettling them, putting infrastructure, schools, hospitals, and making sure they have what to eat. That's the immediate problem of the person in the north. I don't know, Mr. Rutu, whether...
Yeah.
No, that's yeah, just before we go to the two, thanks for that kind of picture that you've given us. But back to Mr. Moses Rutu. One thing that you've given us very well is basically the background of this, which we totally understand. Now, invisible children, as we say it, they don't show us that background. It's missing. All the background you've given us is missing into that.
I wonder whether they have it.
Yeah, we're not sure if they have this this kind of content that is missing out of that. But now my question here is, they are targeting at 2012 to stop Kony, and possibly after that they'll go into what Robert is saying, looking into rebuilding and so on. But in this view, back to you, Moses, what do you think the Ugandan government reaction would be on this movie?
I don't know, because at this material time I wouldn't like to talk on behalf of the government of Uganda. I'm talking like a senior citizen actually of Uganda.
Yeah.
I don't know the government, but before that, the American president, Barack Obama, stated clearly that this group of soldiers, 100 or so, are not going to Uganda to engage with Kony on the battlefield. They're just going to help the Ugandan army to track him. But prior to that, the Belgian Prime Minister had earlier asked the President of Uganda that if you allow me, I can kill Kony for you within 4 hours. Unfortunately, during that time, we were in talks. The government was in talks with Kony. And the President of the Republic of Uganda informed the Prime Minister that for us as Africans, we can't ask someone to come and discuss for a dialogue and at the same time we kill him.
No.
So the timing of killing him is not right at that particular time. So another surprise, Mr. Chairman, is that when Kony's Lord's Resistance Army was engaging in government in talks in southern Sudan, in the capital of Juba, all the members of that group, LRA, are permanent residents in the United States of America. They came from America to travel to Juba to discuss on behalf of Kony. Yet the American government has already declared this group an international terrorist group, just like Bin Laden. And we are surprised to see them going back after the failed talks. They are already in America doing their business. These are the people who have been soliciting for funds, logistics, and whatever to help Kony continue the way he has been doing up to this time.
Good. Now back to you, Robert. You emphasizing the issue of timing. Do you feel this video about Kony should have come out sometime back? Do you have any period in mind when you think it would have been more important to bring to the world this kind of recording?
If I can really recall very well, the video which was shown, I think it was captured way back in 2002. If I'm wrong on that, you can correct me. The person who is talking in the video, the boy called Jacob, that's an old video.
The picture of Jacob is old.
Yes, but back to your question, I would think that this cause and whatever has come out on the world should have been at that time when Kony was so active in Uganda, abducting children, cutting their noses, and taking off their ears. That was the right time for invisible children to really appeal to the world like what they have done now. Anyway, as I said earlier, better late than never. If I can quote the spokesperson of the army in Uganda yesterday in Monitor, one of the local papers in Uganda. So one journalist was asking him whether he has seen the video. Actually, he didn't see the video, but his comment at the end, he says, whatever effort, whatever anyone puts in, whatever group does whatever it's doing to capture Kony, it's welcomed, and it's welcome provided they capture Kony, and Kony is no more, because he's not only terrorizing Uganda but even the neighboring countries like Congo. So I think, I don't know that.
Yeah, Peter, you've answered that. Thank you very much, and I'll come back to Moses. Moses, Robert has just told us that the effective time that this movie or this recording should have been out would have been that period when Kony was effectively killing people, effectively abducting children. But then according to the background that you've given us, you've also told us that this was the period when the forces of Uganda were trying their level best, one, to stop Kony, but also two, to ensure that they negotiate, they put peace negotiations with Kony. So don't you think that if the recording was to be brought out during that period, it would not go well with Uganda's attempts to negotiate for peace talks with Kony?
Well, first and foremost, for me as a person, I wouldn't like to blame the invisible children on the timing, because maybe for them they have just realized this, and they are not a government. They are just an organization, an NGO, that's trying to sort out things that went astray in the first place. For me, what I'm saying is that whatever effort that is on board is welcome. But the government of Uganda has been fierce and strong enough to do a job needed. As we speak now, Kony is no longer in Uganda. But wherever he is, he's a problem to mankind. For me, I wouldn't care whether the children are killed from Uganda or from any other country. I happen to have traveled to Gulu in 2004 together with my wife. There's a children's center, rehabilitation center, which was built. There are some young children with bullets in their bodies, waiting for operations, no funds to do that. So these NGOs should also target such other sectors where assistance is more needed as we speak now. But the timing, I can't say it has delayed, or what they should do, the invisible children, is to inform the world that this thing happened long ago. But the impression that we see in the video is that it's as if it's happening today, as if there was a battle yesterday. No, it's not the case on the ground. These battles were long. The guns are already silent in Uganda. We no longer receive any problems with the attacks from Kony for over coming to 10 years now. So the forces in Uganda have done a good job to stop Kony, but of course Kony is still a problem. Because if it kills children from Congo, or from Sudan, or from Central Africa, they are all children. They are African children, moreover. We need to stop him even from doing that. So, in that aspect, I welcome this gesture. What they should do is to amend their program and inform the world that this happened long before, and that efforts are being made to stop them from doing similar things in the future. That should be the benchmark.
All right. Yeah, thanks very much. We shall get off that kind of subject, and then we shall go straight to the impact this movie could be, and I'm directing this to Robert. Robert, this movie has been watched worldwide. The 60 million plus that we are seeing hitting on Facebook, most of them actually are not in northern Uganda. These are people who are across the world. But in your picture, the Ugandan, if people from northern Uganda watch this video, what would you think would be some of the impact that they would get from this video, especially those that have been affected by the Kony conflict?
Well, in this issue, there are two sides of the coin that we should look at. The Western world and then the local person in Uganda. The program of invisible children is appealing, is getting the message down to the Western world. There are those who didn't know about this. That's as far as the Western world is concerned, and the way they look at things is really different from the local person in Uganda. as I said earlier on, somebody who has been affected in this war, to see these pictures, some of them just cry. They don't want even to make them again, their memory to go back to such things, because their program now is to resettle, come back to normal, their children to go to school and not to look at the pictures. The question is, what impact does it give to the local back in Uganda? It's real. I can't say it's a good one. It's a bad one, of course. It's a bad one, but vision, invisible children, as I had said earlier, they should be floating two issues at a go. 2012 Kony campaign and rebuilding the North.
Good. Very good. Thanks for that point. Yes, again, back to Moses. Robert has just raised an issue of this recording raising emotions strongly among the local people in Uganda. But you've watched the movie yourself. You have seen the beginning when a little Western kid or white kid is being asked about what he felt about that. Do you think, especially the beginning part of the recording, do you think that could be offensive to the local people of Uganda, especially those from the north, asking a white kid what he felt about Kony?
No, I don't think so, because first and foremost, the children, irrespective of being white or black, they have the same feelings.
Good.
From sense of understanding.
Yep.
It wouldn't be unoffensive to the children of Uganda or Africa at large. But the main point here is how we stop such a thing.
Yep.
How do we stop? How do we handle such situations? That's why we are very much concerned about how the West handles issues concerning the African continent. They should understand things from the onset. If they had done so in Uganda, many lives would have been saved. That's the concern. For us, we are concerned about how we stop things from coming back to our people. In Uganda, I don't think, unless a Ugandan child is in CR, unless a Ugandan child is in Sudan, and Kony happens to meet that Ugandan child there accidentally, that's when a Ugandan child can be armed or harmed at this particular time. Because the government of the Republic of Uganda has done the needful to stop Kony from terrorizing those people. But we need to do more. There are programs we have to rebuild northern Uganda. As we speak now, billions of shillings have been put in the budget to deal with the problems in Gulu. What I think the invisible children are to do, if they want to give information to the world, it must be accurate information. Unless accurate information is given, of course, a distorted information will not help anything to come out. They should tell us that the world made a mistake of not understanding Kony from the beginning. The world is trying to correct that mistake. That will do us the best that we will change. Unless that one is done, whatever effort that is being made will not succeed. When you say we must capture Kony in 2012, when Kony is less active than he was 10 years ago, it will look like if I have a brother, I am sick, and he refuses to give me money to go for treatment, and when I die, he buys cows to do my funeral rites, then I would not be appreciative of whatever he's doing. You see? So that's the problem. That's the issue. They should repack their movie. They should inform the world that this thing happened long time ago.
Yeah, just to again to bring you back to that point that you've just mentioned. You are showing us that the government of Uganda has been trying to stop Kony. The government of Uganda has put in a lot of resources to stop this insurgency in the north. People in northern Uganda, do you think they will share the same view with you that the government of Uganda has really been caring for them? Secondly, when you say that this has been happening, like you're giving us an example of if you have a sick brother and you know he's sick, you know it doesn't make sense for you to go to the funeral. So to me, you are implying that actually the government of Uganda has been knowing that someone is there suffering, is sick.
Yes.
But the final question is, would the people of northern Uganda share the same view with you that the Ugandan government, the Ugandan forces has been putting in a lot of effort to stop Kony since 1986?
First and foremost, for your information, in a battle, because I've never been in a battle, I myself.
Yeah, good.
When an attack is made on the community are very sensitive to go to the friendly forces.
True.
You will not find refugees going to Kony's camp after any battle anywhere, but they were running to the government forces. The government of the Republic of Uganda has rescued more than 6,000 children from captivity, from Kony's captivity. The army has been able to rescue those children. And for sure, the president of the Republic of Uganda, who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, pitched the camp in Gulu, 6 months. And he intentionally, whenever the international figures, the ambassadors or whatever, we had wanted to meet the president, we would always meet them in Gulu to give them a chance to understand what was going on. That's why we are disturbed to see why did they fail to understand the problem which was at their nose. The issues at hand were at their nose, at their disposal. So the people of northern Uganda have really shared the same view with all Ugandans that the government has tried. Exactly. That's why whenever they were running, they could not run to Kony. They were running straight to government forces.
So would you be disappointed that this recording, this movie, did not have any mention about the Ugandan government involvement?
I can't get disappointed over that one because I don't know their mission. This is an NGO. In most of the cases, NGOs don't want to share with governments.
True.
Because if an NGO shares with the government, then that will mean that it's working for the government. Maybe they intended not to do that, but the fact is there have been atrocities committed by people and they share that, which we also share. And secondly, they are also struggling to stop this, to stop Kony. I totally support them over that one. Again, so I don't want to blame them because they know the problem.
And you don't know the intention.
And so what I'm only appealing to them is to bring up out a picture and the right picture that this thing has been going on for quite a while.
Excellent, yeah. And back to you, Robert. We've changed a little bit here. We've seen the US getting involved in this Kony issue. According to the movie, we've seen members of Invisible Children approaching the US President Barack Obama. We've seen the senators in the US getting involved. What do you think of this US involvement into the whole issue?
Again, I'll tell you that to me, I don't think that the Ugandan army was so weak to wipe out Kony that they needed support from the US to be able to capture Kony.
So they would have captured Kony themselves, the Ugandan forces.
They did everything to be able to capture Kony. As I told you, when they captured some commanders of Kony, they never punished them. They recruited them within the army. The aim was to get information from them whereabout is Kony, and they got this, and they launched what they called Operation Thunder.
Lightning, yeah.
That was to fight on the ground and in the air. Somehow information leaked to Kony, and he escaped. So. The youth behind Invisible Children to approach White House for assistance in this. I don't think the army from the US has any big impact on the matter. That's my view. I don't think they have any big impact. The problem is Kony is involved in three countries as we speak now: Uganda, Congo, and some Central Republic somewhere there. Why can they wipe out Kony right from where he's basing, like what happened between Sudan and Uganda? When Sudan did not have a demand, he decided to run away to Congo. So I think that's what the solution is. The US army is there, no problem, but I don't think it's the answer.
Good. As we wind up, as we come towards the end, again, I'll come back to Moses. Do you share the same view with Robert when it comes to the US, especially US involvement? Because back home we have seen US soldiers on the streets in all this discuss about the Kony saga. Do you think US should be involved to that kind of magnitude and at this time?
Yes, because I think US involvement has some psychological impact on the ground. First and foremost, Kony has existed because of some support from leaders within the region. So, some of those leaders fear the American forces so much. For example, the leadership in Central African Republic, when they saw that America has joined the forces, some of them will try to get away from Kony. You see? Even in Congo, because he has talked about the Operation Lightning Thunder, we were given 7 days to carry out the operation. To move from Bibia on the Ugandan border to reach Garamba, there is no road where you can use your equipment. We had to use planes and at the same time ground forces. Ground forces can only reach Garamba after 7 days travel, non-stop. So it was supposed to be ineffective once and for all. And the Congolese government refused to renew the permission to continue pursuing Kony. So some of these leaders have been using Kony for their own selfish ends. So when they see that America is on our side, some of them will try to get away from Kony, and eventually Kony will be targeted and captured. Kony's commanders, because he had 4 brigades, one of them called the Altas, the main one, all the commanders have been captured. All of them. Either captured or killed by the Ugandan army. Notable among them there is Brigadier Banya, Brigadier Samporo. Recently, one of them, who was last captured from Guru, is called the Koleo. He's in the court right now. And there is a dispute whether he should be taken to the International Criminal Court or be set free through the Amnesty International. So I think the American involvement is welcome.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. We are still going on in the final rounds, but to ask you something very quick about the deadline, Robert. The Ugandan government has set deadlines for Kony in the past since 1986. The government has always been setting deadlines to capture Kony, and until one time the government really gave up. I think that set like 5 or 6 deadlines. Now we are seeing a deadline here, 30th of 2012. Do you think this deadline will work for the international community to stop Kony on the 30th of 2012?
That's where the problem is. Operation 2012, that campaign, is really giving people impression that 2012 Kony must be captured. And when it is not captured, what's next? As I explained to you earlier, the army in Uganda, and you said it yourself, has been putting dates because they were very sure they can capture him. They had all the gas, like what we are seeing now. But I want to really be against the Invisible Children, their program. I'm willing also to be part of them. Everyone's wish is to see that Joseph Kony is captured.
Good. Any conclusive remarks?
Yeah, for me, an effort to wipe out Kony is most welcome. 2012 has just started. We wish them well. If they succeed, it will be a success of every humankind, because Kony is not a human being to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, members. That was our forum. I thank Robert and Moses Lutu for coming, and we hope to continue discussing with those here. But those are the views that you've heard from the Ugandans. Our theme was to try and clear some bit of air about the 2012 Kony campaign that I've started, and we hope we have been beneficial to some of you by a few remarks that have been given here. Thank you very much. Catch up with us next time.
Thank you.